famous works, including Falling Water, which pioneered his distinct architectural style known as organic architecture, or his Robbie House, considered to be one of the most iconic examples of Wright's prairie style, or his tumultuous private life, where in his Tales in West house, his mistress was murdered along with her children and several others by a disgruntled employee of Wright's. Wright had an incredible influence on architectural history. Wright developed a distinct architectural style known as organic architecture, which aimed to integrate buildings into their natural surroundings. He believed in harmony between architecture and its environment, emphasizing open spaces, natural light, and the use of local materials. He was a prominent figure in the Prairie School movement, which emerged in the early 20th century and focused on horizontal lines, open floor plans, and an emphasis on craftsmanship. One of his most famous works is Falling Water. The client approached Wright with a site in rural Pennsylvania where he and his family used to spend their summers swimming and playing at the waterfall in the woods. Most architects might look at the site and presume to place the client's new holiday home facing this spectacular view. But Frank Lloyd Wright was not most architects, and instead created an innovative cantilever design which allowed the house to hover dramatically over the waterfall. This integration with nature is exactly what Frank Lloyd Wright was known for. There is a myth that Wright designed Falling Water in just one day. According to legend, Edgar Kaufman, the wealthy owner of the property, was eagerly awaiting plans for months, becoming impatient, having not seen or heard from Wright. When Kaufman informed Wright of his impending visit to Wright's studio, Tales Inn, in Wisconsin, Wright assured him that the plans would be ready upon his arrival. Supposedly, Wright then sat and sketched the initial concept in just a few hours. While this story has become part of Falling Water's lore, it's important to note that the design process was more complex. The initial sketch provided the inspiration, but the final plans required months of refinement, collaboration, and technical work by Wright and his team. Despite the embellishments, the myth of Falling Water's quick design underscores the sense of genius and intuition associated with Wright and his architectural masterpieces. Wright also founded two architectural schools, Tales Inn in Wisconsin and Tales Inn West in Arizona, where he mentored many architects and continued to develop his ideas about architecture and design. The name Tales Inn is Welsh and means shining brow, reflecting its location on a hill overlooking the surrounding countryside. Like many architects throughout history, Wright not only designed buildings, but also wrote several books and designed most of the furniture within his schemes. He believed that every aspect of a building's design, including its furniture, should be cohesive and harmonious, contributing to a unified aesthetic experience. This approach created a seamless connection between the interior and exterior spaces. Some of Wright's most iconic furniture designs include the barrel chair, the Tales Inn chair, and the Robbie chair. These pieces are characterized by their clean lines, geometric shapes, and attention to detail. Another significant work of Wright's is Unity Temple in Oak Park, Illinois. Completed in 1908, it is considered one of the first modern buildings in the world. With its innovative use of reinforced concrete and geometric design, Unity Temple, although may not have been directly featured in any films, its architectural style and ethos has influenced filmmakers and production designers for over a century. Wright's personal life was marked by tumultuous relationships. He was married 3 times and had several extramarital affairs. His most famous affair was with Mama Borwick Cheney, the wife of one of his clients. Their scandalous relationship led to the dissolution of both of their marriages and caused a significant public scandal. On August 15, 1914, while Wright was away working in Chicago, a disgruntled employee, Julian Carlton, locked all but one of the doors of the house and set fire to Tales Inn. Those who managed to escape the fire through the funneled door were met by Julian outside, waiting with an axe. During the attack, Carlton murdered 7 people, including Mama Borwick Cheney, along with her 2 children and 4 others who were present in the house at the time. Carlton, who was a domestic servant at Tales Inn, had a troubled history and was reportedly angry over work-related issues. After the fire, Wright redesigned and rebuilt Tales Inn, where he lived for the remainder of his life, continuing to design incredibly iconic work right up until the end, such as the Solomon Orr Guggenheim Museum in New York City, which opened just 6 months before his death in 1959. Wright was notorious for his stubbornness and insistence on having things done his way, which sometimes caused friction with clients and colleagues. Nonetheless, these facts provide a glimpse into the complex and fascinating life of Frank Lloyd Wright, a man whose brilliance as an architect was matched only by his colourful personality. So now you know,